what is the process for managing other people? How do you do it? What strategy can you use? Again, I like to use an illustration here, which is when you want to build a house. When you want to build a house, you have the vision of the house you want, the type of house you want. You know how much you have, and you know the resources, the land that is available, but only you know that. So you get a team together. So you get an engineer together, you get architectures, land surveyors, and all these people. And you have a meeting with them and you say, listen, I need to build a 3-bedroom bungalow. I want this house to be ready in 10 months' time. I have 10,000 lakhs. I think I got that wrong. Should be million. Lakh is a million. But $10,000 for the sake of argument. And that's all I have. It's the same way you sit down and have that conversation with the contractors that you should have the conversation with your team or when you're managing people. So you just don't make an assumption that they know what to do. After all, you applied for the job and you got the job. So therefore you know what to do. No, for you to manage an high-performing team, you need to follow these 6 steps. The first one is setting the direction. So what does success look like? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And how do we know when we finish what we're doing? So it's like a 3-bedroom. So when you're building a house, you just don't say, I want to build a house. You will say, I want to build a duplex, a 3-bedroom house, a 2-story building, a complex, a business complex, or a living complex with 7 flats, things like that. It's the same thing you need to do with people when you're managing them. So you need to set the direction. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And then generate their commitment. So you need to let them see what's in it for them. So it's not only about your salary, it's about your tomorrow. So how does the thing that you're doing today, how does it build into the bigger picture of the organization, the entity, or the institution that you're working with? And if you've been having that conversation I spoke about earlier in developing the individual, you will know what the carrot will be. So carrot is what is the thing that entices them to get their commitment. So, okay, yes, Toyin, I agree. I can do that. I'll work with you on this. Then plan the delivery. How are we going to do this? We need to do it in 10 months. So the first 2 months, we're going to plan. Then after that, we're going to look for the resources. We go to the bank, we get the money, and then we do the construction. It's the same thing with managing other people. So let's plan the delivery. So this is the project. How are we going to go from point A to point B? What's the timeline? And do we have the skills for it? Because I'm on your team, you've recruited me, does not mean that I do not need additional training, just like we're having now. Okay, so is there anything that we've said we're going to do that you feel you need more help? Do you need training, or do you need to attend a webinar or to read a book? Find out what they need to make the delivery happen. So develop the capacity or the capability of the team to deliver on that. And then one of the most important things, making it happen. A lot of good leaders actually suffer from not being assertive, making things happen. So they do all these other things. They do the talking, they get the commitment, they set the direction, but to actually make the thing happen, they're not there. So as a leader, you also need to do the difficult bit of managing people, making things happen. And making things happen oftentimes may not be easy. It will not be friendly. If someone is not delivering on their task, you need to be able to call that person out. Remember the illustration of the bank. If you've done all you need to do, you've paid money into that account. So when you're calling them out or not doing something, they may be upset, but they would understand that you're upset because of the task ahead of them, not just because you're picking on them, you don't like them. He has not even spoken to me since he gave me the task, and now he's shouting on the phone saying he's not happy. So it's a balancing act. So make it happen, building on all the things you've done in the past. And after everything is done, you need to be able to evaluate and look forward. And one of the tips that John Adele talks about is making sure that nothing comes as a surprise at the end of the project. So I know I've had trainings where people would talk about performance management. And the way organizations do it, they do it annual performance. So you have people who actually wait until 12 months to give feedback to somebody on something they didn't do right. So you're having a conversation in January and you're saying to the person, remember in April, that workshop you did was very bad. How does that help anybody? So it is important that you build a continuous feedback process into your process of managing other people, where you're looking forward and not looking backwards. So if you do it on a regular basis, you're looking forward. So you're evaluating for the future. So what not to do and not castigating people on what they have done.
Ma'am, just you
That's,
mentioned about the
yes.
feedback. Actually, what is the importance and role of feedback in high performance?
Okay, so feedback is crucial in high performance. Either if the person is performing or not performing. If I'm performing well, you need to tell me what I'm doing well so that I will know what to repeat. So oftentimes when people give feedback, they would say things like, what you did was not right. What did I do that was not right? So that I will know what to correct. Or you say, Toyin, that presentation was fantastic. What was fantastic about it? Was it the delivery? Was it the content? Was it the examples? So that next time when I'm doing it, I will build on what worked well to do better, and I will avoid what did not go well. So feedback is crucial in managing high performance. In fact, you wouldn't even know you're performing if nobody gives you feedback. So I would say positive um, developmental feedback. I try not to use constructive feedback because it's been used so badly, at least in my context in the academia. When somebody says they want to give you constructive feedback, just know that your paper is going to come back with a lot of reds. But when you talk about developmental feedback, it's looking forward. So you're giving feedback on areas where you think the person can do better in future. So more of when next you're doing this, I would suggest you do this, more of this, less of this, at this time, not at this time. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you.
All right. Any other question? I'm at the end of my presentation.